Welcome back to part 3 of the China versus Taiwan war, also known as World War III. So back, so last time we had the surrender of Russia and also the blue team getting all of these territories. Um, so the reason why Russia surrendered is because they wanted to continue their war with Ukraine, and this whole thing it wasn't really letting them do it. But was a surprise attack, and they were able to take this whole area back, which was uncalled for, and they also dropped a nuke, a tactical, an atom bomb, which Japan is obviously pretty mad about, and they attempt to make an invasion over here, but they just get a little even more pushback. So they decide to just end their war with Russia, obviously. There's also some pretty big setback in Vietnam's campaign, but the Japanese and Koreans are seeing this. Quickly, they take the rest of the Korean peninsula, and they have a much smaller army, so they can run across easier. They very quickly run across to meet up with the Vietnamese troops who are running right over to them. And they are finally able to break China into a couple of pieces. Vietnam also makes a nice honorable campaign over here, breaking it into another piece. China is being very exhausted from this war, so they decide, screw it, we're nuking the Philippines again. Boom, bye-bye. They then go through so they can take this part. I know this isn't the actual Philippines, like, yeah, it is. You can see the islands there, but this is also counts for sea because they're an island. I mean, islands, I should say. So yeah, Beijing, it's starting to get cornered. And with the very last resources that they have, they encircled the capital. I think this is where Beijing is. I don't even freaking know at this point. I don't even care about China if it's not Taiwan. So I think it's a little more around here. It's a bit more accurate. So yeah, they start circling Beijing. And here comes the second battle of Beijing. So right here we have a few tactical nukes being issued surrounding Beijing from the white team. So this does quite a bit of damage over here, and it also causes some minor radiation around here, which does quite a bit of damage to Japan and the blue team. So after this whole thing has been delivered out, Taiwanese troops, the final few of them, feeling very determined, show up once again for one final battle. All of the troops have gathered over into Beijing, but with this, there was also some Chinese pushbacks from right over here, so they can push quite a bit more in and try to take Vietnam, and they also got back a few territories, and they were also able to break this little part right here. They also decided to take some more of the Philippines, and they sent in a little invasion over here, and they took around the middle of this island and also this part. They also decided to launch an invasion through the I don't even freaking know what it's called. They launched a little invasion through here, and they were also able to peek into the Russian territory. So this is China's last stand. They only have one shot at this, and if they get screwed, they're screwed. But whatever. So basically, they decide to launch the deadliest bomb in history. But where should they use it? Okay, that's a bit too big, you think. So they have a very, very big bomb. This is going to cause lots of radiation and lots of harm. So they decide to launch it around right here onto Japan. This also infects Korea and also some of their surrounding territories. And after controlling the bomb a little bit, the surrounding territories with radiation reach to around here, which also does lots of damage. Also, by the way, I didn't mention this because it wasn't really important to the video, but a lot of the islands, like the Marshall Islands and stuff like that, they also declared war. So anyways, hoping that they would surrender from this attack, they somehow didn't. The reason why they did this because this is actually in the year 2040, where this whole thing whilst it is very, very deadly, it can be cleared out. This radiation, whilst it looks very big, it's not very powerful, because anything beyond like this, anything beyond like a little bit outside of the black, it's not really gonna do much. I just make the Jacksepticeye logo. Wow. Anyway, so basically, let's get very close into this little surrounding area, and let's use one color schemes. So first, there's a little invasion by Taiwanese troops into Bejing, but they are quickly pushed off, and there's also some takings of the blue team's territory, and they are pushing back very well until Japanese and Hong Kong troops decide to make a push right over to the main building, but they are pushed back yet again by the desperate Chinese troops. China also tries to make they also do a very encircling movement so they can try to get out of here, and it is working. But there's a massive encircling offensive that is once again shrinking the capital. That's a bit too short. And it shrinks the capital yet again. They're back to where they were. Over here we have American and British troops. Here we have Taiwanese and Philippine troops. Here we have Japanese and Hong Kong troops, and here we have Korean, and just martial troops and stuff like that, island troops. Also, by the way, I should mention the main building. I'm just gonna put it right there because screw it. So the main building is surrounded. China still sees a reason to keep going, and they actually do get a small pushback, although it's not going very well. Whilst they are pushing back, it's not going to last for long. They all decide to meet up in a circle formation, and they slowly circle the main building. But China is still able to hold them off. So in the meantime, they take these areas that are basically just free candy to them. So with this, China is almost completely collapsed, and there is one final invasion, but right here they're pushed back, and China thinks that maybe, just maybe, they can get out of here, but nope, it's repositioned back, and finally it falls. The area has finally been overrun. So right here we can see this is a chaotic war. This obviously was not realistic in any way, duh. But I just felt like making this because screw it. It's fun to make this stuff. I like making this stuff, okay? So yeah, that's how I think that this war would end. Obviously not, like, if this is my scenario, though, seriously. If there was actually an invasion of China into Taiwan, it would be way different, duh. But I just thought, screw this, I'm doing this for fun. So let's take this little border right here, and let's make a new map of the world. One that's not horribly tainted. And let's see the new areas gained with the peace treaty. So, as we can see, we have Taiwan over here. So Taiwan gains this massive territory right here, which which is pretty good for them. Hong Kong gets this territory. Tibet gets all of this territory. There's a reunified Korea, so let's just have that be a little more apparent. Japan gets all of this territory, which they're very happy with. Vietnam gets all of Laos and Cambodia, and they also get that little island over there, and they also get a lot of Chinese islands. So yeah, they get that territory, which I think is pretty reasonable, and they also get this little territory right here from China. And the USA is occupying any sort of UK and USA are occupying any sort of Chinese territory left from here. And Russia is right here. It's occupied by it's given to Japan and also the UK and USA. So yeah, obviously not realistic in the slightest, but I thought that this would just be a fun little series I could do in the meantime while I'm waiting for my new video to upload on my main channel, Me Control IT. Check it out, like, subscribe, because my channel is monetized 50% of the profit go to charity, and peace.